Welcome back to another week of Stocks in Review for the upcoming week. In this special edition, we're going to review news that could impact the stock market, update you on the latest trends in the cryptocurrency world, review stock picks for the upcoming week, and then discuss the infamous Gravestone Doji. The one candlestick pattern you really need to be able to wrap your head around so you stop buying stocks at the wrong time and know when to sell before you lose all the profits you've made. If you've been keeping track this year, you've probably noticed that unlike most people on here, I give you recommendations a week in advance about what stocks will go up. And more than 90% of the time, the ones I suggest do go up the following week. But if you don't ever look at a chart before buying and selling, how in the world will you know if a stock is on the verge of going down shortly after you buy? It's no different than a pilot flying in the fog with no radar. It's literally financial Russian roulette. Please don't do it. I'll give you some simple methods to help you make better trades. While they don't work all the time, they do work a lot of the time. In news, it was an awful week for the president. It would be great if he could just go on a long vacation with really bad cell phone reception, but in all honesty, I really believe the media blew this way out of proportion. Mainstream media is constantly putting a negative spin on everything, and while a lot of people are aware of it and can tune it out, there's a large percentage of people who believe what they hear, night after night with all these talking heads. That causes uncertainty and fear, which hurts the stock market. All the CEOs leaving the various councils that the administration had set up has added to the lack of confidence in getting things done, like tax reform, healthcare, and other legislative items. On Thursday, there was another horrific terrorist attack in Barcelona, where at least 13 people were killed and many more injured. In cryptocurrency news, it was another good week for Bitcoin holders. I made 10% and sold when it hit the high of 44.31 on Tuesday. I've noticed higher lows for sure this week compared to a lot less volatility in weeks gone past. The naysayers keep talking about a cryptocurrency bubble burst, but who really knows? I feel like it's coiling up for the big push to $5,000. So we shall see. On watch this week, I have Apricus Biosciences, Alibaba, and Northern Dynasty Minerals. At APRI, you can see that for the majority of the last 3 months, the stock has been over its 50-day average with higher lows and higher highs. The NDA submission could happen any day now, which would easily double a current price or more. And there's been some positive news about investment positions by top hedge fund managers. I'd watch this one close. At Alibaba, you're probably aware that they had a blowout quarter with a nice bump in the stock yesterday. After some expected profit taking, I'm confident that this will go up next week, and even holding through the end of the year is a safe bet. At Northern Dynasty, there's been some interesting moves this week, and we're approaching the timeline of when a partner should be announced. Besides some bullish technical trends, copper and gold prices have been rallying as of late. Hopefully, you were able to average down early last month when it hit the mid $1.20 range. The first new stock I'm looking at for the coming week is Ulta Beauty Incorporated, ticker symbol ULTA. This Illinois company has nearly 12,000 employees and operates almost 1,000 retail stores in 48 states. It's just about $70 off its 52-week high price of almost $315. The company has had impressive international growth, and I expect it to do well when it reports on August 24th after the close. I don't usually like to hold through earnings, but if I held this stock, I would this time. Next, we look at VMware Incorporated, ticker symbol VMW. This California company has nearly 19,000 employees and provides cloud and virtualization infrastructure to companies worldwide. VM is also heavily involved in virtual reality technology. They have a strategic alliance with Amazon Web Services and work close with Trend Micro Incorporated. I like their stable and reliable sales growth, which consistently delivers. I also like that they've received several reiterated hold ratings, and Deutsche Bank just recently raised their price point 10%. The company reports earnings after the close on Thursday. I conclude with Marvell Technology Group, ticker symbol MRVL. The company is headquartered in Bermuda, but maintains operations around the world. They have over 4,600 employees and provide semiconductors used in Xboxes, as well as designing, developing a variety of integrated circuits and solid-state controllers used in many applications around the world. Their SSD controller surpassed 50 million units in less than 2 years, a record growth of almost 400%. Marvell pays a dividend of just over 1.5%. The company reports earnings after the close on the 24th, and I expect a nice pop leading into earnings next week. Okay, it's time to talk about Gravestone Dojis. Let's make this as simple as possible. I'm cheap, so I like websites and apps that give me a lot of information at little or no charge. I don't care what charting app or website you use, the key thing is you need to be able to set it to 3-minute intervals. So let's take a look at this step by step together. I use tradingview.com because it's free, and after you sign up for a free account, you type in the ticker symbol of the stock that you want to chart or watch for the day. Since I recommended Aurinia Pharmaceuticals for the week, and it went up like I said it would, type the ticker symbol into the search box and highlight the name of the company, then double click. Next, you want to click Interactive Chart. Then click No Thanks to make the annoying message disappear. Then click as we're showing you to select the candlesticks that are not hollow. To the left of that, you want to click on the time interval and select 3 minutes. You should really play around with this and get familiar with it because it'll really help you minimize your losses and increase your profits. Alright, the next thing we need to talk about is what a Gravestone Doji looks like. Here are the basic elements. You have the long higher shadow. At the bottom, you have a nearly equal open, low, and close line with virtually no empty candle area beneath. Dojis in general indicate some kind of indecision in the market. When a Gravestone Doji appears at the end of an uptrend, it usually indicates that the stock price will start to turn down or sometimes trend sideways for a bit. If it occurs at the end of a downtrend, then you should watch closely for the stock price to begin going up. Here are some examples. Now don't forget, you should really watch the tips provided on my trading basics called Should You Invest in Stocks or Real Estate? How to Turn $800 into $8,000 in Less Than a Year. We also have another video called Predicting Stock Prices and Reading Charts. Because if a stock doesn't have much volume on a particular day, for example, I won't even touch it unless the shares are on sale and I want to establish a position for a later move. What I'm trying to say is that you can't just learn about Gravestone Dojis and think that concept is mutually exclusive to everything else. Think about it. If successful stock trading only had a few rules, everyone would be rich. You need to spend some time learning the fundamentals. 10 hours of quality studying time could make a world of difference for you. One more thing I want to bring to your attention. I also use the information we're reviewing in order to spot trends and make suggestions for the following week. For example, last week I suggested Aurinia Pharmaceuticals for this week. Then on Monday it jumped. But if you take a look at the NASDAQ site, look what alerted me to the likely jump for the current week. To see this, just go to nasdaq.com. Type in AUPH, then click Search. Then click on More Charting at the bottom. Make sure that you've set the candlesticks and everything the same way we did for the TradingView website, except you don't set this one to 3 minutes. You set it to a month. Because remember, Aurinia Pharmaceuticals was in a downward trend for a while, and it started to bug me that it hadn't started going up yet. So here the Gravestone Doji told me that the end of the downward trend had come, and soon it would start going up. And sure enough, we had 4 out of the next 5 sessions following that doji in the green. You see, it's not that hard. So if we go back to that tab for Aurinia on our TradingView page, let's take a look for that Gravestone Doji. Look for the magnifying glass on the left side so you can zoom in if you need to. There's also one at the bottom of the page. Set the time frame for a month. Then zoom in and we'll look at how the disastrous day that we had yesterday affected Aurinia. Another thing that you should know is that if there isn't much volume, you need to increase your 3 minutes to 15 minutes. Otherwise, the doji won't reveal itself on this chart. Then take a look at what I've highlighted in yellow for you, our Gravestone Doji, and the stock basically dropped the rest of the day, like everything else in the market. So now let's take a look at some more real-life examples. So I challenge you to watch for this important doji so you aren't one of the tens of thousands of bag holders created every day. And while this doesn't work all the time, it definitely works a lot. Please remember, investing in the stock market carries risk. Never invest more than you can afford to lose or not have access to for an extended period of time. If you enjoy our videos, please tell your friends and family about us, and click subscribe as well as like. Have a great week. And in case you didn't realize it, next week is the last full week of August.